from the rugged desert outside Yuma, Arizona. This is Outpost Outspoken. Outpost Outspoken is the official podcast of U.S. Army Yuma Proving Ground, which conducts natural environment testing of military equipment in Arizona, Alaska, and the tropics. Hello, I'm Mark Schauer. Growing up in Georgia, YPG Deputy Police Chief Major Albert Wheaton was a die-hard Atlanta Braves fan. In the summer of 1990, just as the team was on the cusp of a decade of National League dominance, he decided to attend a team tryout at the local community college. I know back in the day, a lot of non-roster invitees were young guys that played baseball and football when they were young, so I'm guessing you were a football player too.
Yes, I dabbled a little bit in football in school.
But by the time you wound up at a Braves tryout, you were well out of high school.
Correct. I was 20, getting close to 21. It was a Braves tryout. I've been a Braves fan since I was old enough to know what baseball was. They did a tryout in town at the local junior college, so I just went out and just to see what it was about. And then basically, I was the oldest one there. And, I show up in my uniform because I worked at the sheriff department, so they thought I was there to apprehend somebody, and I actually changed out to try out.
What was the tryouts like? What did they have you do?
So you did your warm-ups, and then you tried out in the positions that you thought you were good at. Then they have you what they thought you would. So I originally played third base, so I was like, that's where I wanted to play, third base. And then they put me in the outfield. Then they had me pitch, which I'm like, okay, I really didn't know much about pitching, and I messed around with the knuckleball and stuff like that, just playing around, but nothing really, outside of Little League. That was probably it. It was like about 6 hours worth of, working out and doing a different tryout. And to be honest with you, I went just so I could say, hey, I tried out. And that was it. I never thought I was going to hear anything else from them. So I didn't think anything else about it, didn't hear anything. It was just, to me, it was cool to see a couple of the Braves coaches that was there that I've seen on TV, and it was just a cool thing. I can go, hey, I did it. That was it.
Not all that long after that, Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait.
I was deployed to Desert Storm.
And then you had one call a week with your wife, and what happened?
Late that, I wouldn't say it was around Christmas time or early January, I had my one call, and I called my wife at the time, and, that 10 minutes phone call that we got, she goes, oh, I got this letter in the mail, and it's got the Braves emblem on it. Did you order something? I'm like, no. She goes, you want me to open it? I'm like, well, yes, please. So she opened it and read it. She goes, it's something about you being invited to something. I'm like, invited to what? She goes, oh, they need you to go, you're invited to some camp down in South Florida. I'm like, is it like baseball camp? Or, because she's not a baseball fan, so she didn't really understand. So I was like, well, just send me that letter, please. So, of course, the snail mail, getting it over, was about a month later when I received it. So it was actually, I was being as a non-roster invitee to a spring training. I was like, whoa, I was shocked, and even more so, it was in reference to my pitching and not my outfield or third base or my batting, which I thought I was doing pretty good. Because, I do remember when I was up there pitching, throwing around, I did strike out quite a few of the kids. So, but I just thought because they were kids, it didn't really matter. So I did send a letter back to them and advising them, hey, because I was supposed to reply within so many days, which by the time I got it, it was past the time frame. So I replied to them and told them my situation, and then I was thankful for it and didn't think anything about it. I think about another month rolled around, or right after baseball season started, they actually sent me a letter and a care package. Actually, it stated, well, thank you for your service, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, this is a one-time thing. You're not going to be able to extend it, but contact the front office at this number when you return home. I was like, I was kind of bummed out, but it was like, hey, how many people get this? So, of course, all my buddies at the end of the unit and all, thought it was pretty cool. So, that was kind of it. I didn't think any more about it. And then we were still overseas for another 8 more months before I came. I think we got back around October or November time frame, something like that. So it was almost a year, the whole time I was deployed.
But by the time baseball season rolled around, you made it to a game, didn't you?
They advised me whenever I'm in town, want to go to the game, just let them know. There'll be some tickets for me. So, I mean, I was very appreciative. I'm thinking, I didn't care if it was the nosebleed section. That's kind of what I figured it would be. It was just get to go to a game. It was pretty cool. So we did eventually go to one, I think that following May, first part of the season. And when I showed up, I gave them my ID and told them there should be some tickets. The lady said, "Hold on, sir. I'll be right back." And I'm thinking maybe it was a misunderstanding or something. Well, there's somebody from their main office where it came down and said, "Mr. Wheaton, we've been waiting to hear from you. I'm going to be your tour guide for the day." I had no clue we were getting. We get to go into the locker room. We got to see the radio booth. I mean, meet, all the people that you hear on the TV and you hear on the radio. And then it was getting close to the game to start. I already met some of the players in the locker room. Well, they actually allowed me and my family we actually sat down in the dugout during the first part of the game. I mean, it was like I'm sure I was looked like a kid in a candy store at the time because I'm seeing all these guys like, holy cow, here we are. I'm sitting right here with them in a dugout, something I would have, only a kid dreams of getting to do, and not too many people get to live out their dream of playing ball. So just to have that opportunity was pretty good. It was an amazing event, and I still to this day, I'm a Braves fan through and through, regardless how the season goes. But yeah, it was one of the good memories probably will never forget, that's for sure.
Hey, Major Wheaton, it's really good talking to you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Whether it's singing the National Anthem at post events, representing Yuma Proving Ground at school visits, or serving as a youth minister at his church, IT specialist Carlos Garcia has become a widely known figure in the local community. How old were you when you first started singing?
I was 12 years old when I first started singing. Music was always part of my family, and I started dancing in elementary school, third grade, second grade, but I couldn't really sing much because I had a lot of issues with allergies. So eventually those got solved. I got a surgery, and then I started taking singing lessons.
By the time you started working at Yuma Proving Ground, somebody started recommending you to do the anthem. How'd that all start?
Yeah, so I did some singing lessons while I was still in Mexico. I was raised over there, and then I moved to the U.S. at 15. Then I did high school choir, and then I did college, university choir. And then eventually, I ended up at YPG, and then the cafeteria, Maria, supervisor, she recommended me to Michelle, one of our staff members here at YPG. And then she was looking for one person to sing for change of command, and yeah, here I am.
So what was the first thing you sang the anthem for here at YPG?
It was a change of command. I believe it's been several of them now. So I had to look back and see which one exactly was the first one, because I've done change of responsibilities as well. I think it was Johnson. Yeah.
Now you've done some events for YPG off post too, haven't you?
Yeah. So I went to I was part of one of the YPG career fairs at Southwest Junior High. So it felt good to give back to my community. That's where I went to high school in Salinas, Arizona, and it was great because I did not know nothing about YPG when I was in high school. So to go back and then to speak about YPG and what we do over here to middle schoolers, it was a great opportunity, and I did that last year.
Now you had a very unique opportunity in the last presidential election. You were in the audience in two different televised presidential debates and got to ask a question of each of the presidential candidates. How did that come about?
So the last elections, I remember getting a text message about this survey, debate, Zoom opportunity, and I filled out my information, and all I remember is that we did a Zoom, and they were just asking us, what led to our decision. They never asked what was going to be our decision, but yeah, this was 4 or 5 years ago. But then this last election, I got another text message. And I mean, we have been getting a lot of spam text messages, so I was about to delete it, but then it did mention Univision, which is a very Hispanic, big television broadcast. And then it was the same thing, a Zoom. And then from that Zoom, I got picked. A lot of us were just talking about the elections and why we were thinking about one side or the other side, and what were our questions and our doubts. And I asked really good questions, and they picked me to go to the big ones, to the big town halls.
Now, you're pretty integrated into the YPG community. You're well known as a singer. Do you expect you'll be working here for a while?
I do want to work here for a while. Yuma's my community, Yuma, San Luis, Somerton. This is where I go to church. This is where I'm also a youth leader for children and youth. And then I'm also worship leader at my church. So that's why I also do singing on the weekends. So yeah, I mean, I want to be part of the YPG community, you know, as long as the YPG community is ready for me.
Hey, Carlos, it's really good talking to you today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
This has been Outpost Outspoken. Thank you again for listening. We'll see you next time from the forefront of Army transformation.